Welcome everybody. It is the first day of winter. However, the ground's not frozen yet. We have my brother out plowing, doing some early plowing. It is too late to seed oilseed radish. We did try to get all the fields done with oilseed radish. You can see up there in the distance, this view is just awesome. You can see up there in the distance all the fields that we did actually get done seeding an oilseed radish. And these other 3 fields close to home, we are gonna start plowing. So that way, we'll kind of start our plowing and crop rotation that way. Remember, we are an organic farm, so basically, whatever we cannot get fertilized with slurry and manure is going to just have to either be weeded and then we're gonna have to harvest it as is. Look at that beautiful construction project. Before we get started there, I think I mentioned in previous episodes, we did purchase a placeable slurry farm and manure. Well, not slurry farm. It's a slurry pit and a manure pit down there at Little Wool Hope. You can see it clear as day because all the foliage is gone from the trees. So we will be able to go down there and fill up our manure spreader and slurry tanker with some fertilizer so that we can at least, get a few good layers on the fields. But of course, we'll try to minimize that cost to as minimal as possible. We will try our best to... That's just awesome. We'll try our best to get going there. I had a little mistake with courseplay there at the beginning, but we'll just say that I was showing my brother the ropes plowing. Anyway, he's going pretty well now, so let's head back out to the farm. While we're running there, let's look at the forecast. It is right now at 0, but the ground temperature is still 2 degrees. Tomorrow it's going to be a little bit warmer, so hopefully we'll still be able to plow if we can't finish today, and then after that the ground's probably going to stay frozen for a while and we cannot finish. As we left you at the end of the last episode, basically we had to level this part out in Giants Editor. I have since done that. And then I have parked everything inside here. This shed actually turned out really nice. I am really happy we bought this shed, and thank you for pointing that out to me. And again, correct me if I'm wrong, but I believe it was Konstantinos Papas that linked these sheds to me. If you guys do want to send me a link, I have them disabled and they'll go to spam initially, but as long as it's not a malicious link, I typically review those at least once a day, several times a week at the minimum, and if it's a good link, I will approve your comment. So if you do want to give me a direct link, then just go ahead and paste that link right in the comment block, but just understand it'll take me a little bit of time to get to it. Anyway, let's get rid of the... There we go. We don't need the entire forecast there. One other thing I wanted to... so I did some moving around on the farm that I'll show you a little bit now, but basically I moved a lot of the junk out here so that we can use some of the buildings. And this is an amazing shed by Dorset, who... I'm so happy that he took my suggestion of making part of the shed like that. On his forum thread there on FSUK, he said like, hey, this is the progress of the sheds, and just gotta model the rest of the textures for the paneling on the outside. And I thought it looked awesome like this, and it goes perfect along with my map. So special thanks to Dorset for doing that, because kind of like with the steel bend construction project back there, it just makes the map feel a little bit more true to life when you get to see things being built. So I figure that we will use this for maybe some bale storage, and at the very least it is a nice shed that we can pull the bale trailers into if we're rain threatening, because right now we don't have anywhere else that we can put the bale trailers and get them out of the rain. So that's what this will serve. It's a little bit of an older shed. We're basically moving it from, let's say we bought it from a neighboring farm and we took it down over there and we are reassembling it here. So we got it for pretty cheap, and that is the current state of that progress. And oh man, I wish I could just watch my brother. Look at that, you see him through the trees there. I wish I could just watch my brother all day plow that field. Anyway, we got a few other things to do, so let's get started running around the farm here. As you can see, I moved some of the junk out of these sheds. We're going to buy seed for the spring. It's on a discount right now. Typically you get certain bonuses, and the seed is cheaper if you order ahead of time in the winter or the fall, really, and you can buy that ahead of time for the next year. And so we're going to order our spring seed and we will put it in there. For that, we will be using the, why isn't it working? Control Z, not Alt Z. We'll be using this app to plan out how much seed we need for the fields, but I'll probably do some of that off screen, probably most of it, just because it'd be pretty boring watching me. Okay, how many liters of this? Okay, how many liters of this? Okay, yeah, so that'd be boring. I'll probably do that all off screen. Anyway, let's get in here. Yeah, so as you can see, I emptied this out and I put them over there. So this is where all that other junk went over here. So... and then also I can use this for some extra seed storage as well. So I think that will, you know, that'll be a great little addition to the farm. I do, like, actually, what is the app? Okay, we are at 96% battery charge. The animals are still doing well, but we need some silage. So that is the very first thing we should, do cows walk around in there? I don't know. Maybe we should we keep that open or closed? Such a big decision, right? Let's look in here. So they could use filled up on water, but they're pretty much fine for now. So we will leave them for now. And let's see. Okay, what else to do? Let's take a look at the silage pit and see how fermented it is. We are at 61%. Unfortunately, we cannot give the cows power food. So that's unfortunate. Real quick, I wanted to touch on the poll. I'm filming this a day early, and it looks like the poll result that will win is sell Heidi, buy telehandler, and then buy the Ford TW pack. I had 2 different people so far at the time of this recording tell me that there is a different mod out there that has the front, you know, for the front loader option on these tractors. But what I think will happen, and Maralisher actually also kind of recommended this, and, you know, having a Heidi, a nice front loader around the farm, really is helpful. It's a little bit less horsepower than the Ford TW pack, and so here's what I'm thinking. I'm thinking of slightly modifying the winning vote to keeping Heidi and then buying another Ford TW tractor. So I think that's probably why that one won, because people really want to see a telehandler and the Ford TW pack. I know when I first started, lots of people mentioned that they would, you know, they recommended this pack, but since it didn't have a front loader, I decided on Heidi instead, who was actually done. This mod is excellent. It's done up by Maralisher himself, so highly recommend this one as well. Download it from the Giants Mod Hub. Anyway, I'm thinking that if we have one of these other, maybe either the smaller one, you know, it's relatively cheap. The maintenance is $95 a day, which is, you know, I mean, for a old used tractor that could help us out around the farm. For example, I need to be running back and forth here extensively. As I pointed out last episode, I'm going to have a lot of trips to and from the store, picking up cows and delivering them to the farm. It would be great if I could put those run hours on something else, like a TW. The Heidi is just not powerful enough to do a job like that. Oh, she could probably do it, but it would, you know, Heidi would struggle. It'd be a struggle. So instead, you know, we could keep Heidi around. We could still buy a telehandler, and we could still buy a Ford TW, and that would help minimize putting the run hours on Fritz. Fritz here, for example, already has 41 run hours. We bought him over on the About Due Monday and shipped him over here to the West Coast, and that's just from one season. So that's a decent amount of run hours. I also moved all of my baling equipment over to, well, I mean, you saw it in the shed right there, but I cleared out this a little bit. I pushed some of that debris back, and I moved the potato box over there to the debris that you saw on the edge of the field, right over there. Right. Okay, that wasn't timed quite right. Right there. Anyway, so let's get started with planning. We are basically... oh, you know what? Actually, let's not plan. We can save planning for another day. I know what we want to do today. Let's get in. Let's see. Right side, left side. Which side is the driver? The driver is on this side. Okay, I got it right. We're going to hop on in Landy here, and we are going to have a fun little go doing this project. I am looking forward to this project. So here's what we're gonna do. We're gonna hop in here, and let's see, where should we start this at? This will be a fun little project. I mentioned some of you who watch every minute of every episode may remember me saying that I would like to make a path between some of our fields to make them a little bit easier to get to. And the local town council, I think that's what BulletBill said you have to go through. They approved it. So we get to make a little path here through our fields, which is going to make it's a huge quality of life improvement. I think that this will really help make our, driving to and from the fields a lot easier. So here's what we're going to do. We're going to hop on in here with Landy. We got our chainsaw with us, and I don't know what else you need to take out a hedgerow. Maybe some gasoline, and, well, we don't want it to spread to other hedgerows. Maybe a fire axe. I don't know. We're going to destroy this hedge up here. This is what we're going to do. I think that we'll probably just leave the grass. And we just want a clear path to and from. So we want a clear path from this field that my brother is plowing over to this field and then on down. Otherwise, for example, let's hop up on the hood here. He would have to go basically the same path that we just took, all the way through those pastures, through the farm, down to the main road, and then out here just to get over to here. And that's a lot of work if, you envision a combine with a head and a header trailer, and none of those fit down a lane, so you have to load, the head on the header trailer, and then you have to undo all the connections, then you have to redo all the connections. That's a huge pain in the butt. So, to alleviate that, we are going to make a hole here, and then make a hole over there in that hedgerow. Let's actually run over to... maybe we could do this hole first. Okay, here we go. Let's, where should we put it? Maybe right there on the edge of the tree. I think that's probably good. We're going to have to... maybe we should have brought a wood chipper out here so that we could throw all this in a wood chipper and chop it up. I don't know how else we're going to get rid of it. I guess we could just drag the shrubs off to the side. We're probably going to have to... These roots probably go deep as well. I would imagine you'd probably have to dig down and either burn them out, or I don't know if you could pull them out, maybe with a front loader. I don't know. Maybe that's something you guys could help me out with. How do you get rid of a hedge? I know that they are protected in the UK, and I know generally you don't do this, but I read the laws, and BulletBill also confirmed that if you have permission, you can remove a very small section of hedgerows if you own both sides of the field. And so, let's get a move on. Here we go. All right, there we go. We have removed this hedge, and let's go on to the next one while taking a look at my brother. I think that is... Oh, look at that. That's just such a beautiful sight. Getting some field work done. I do think that in the winter, it does look like the season textures seem like they are at their best because, a lot of times the foliage actually kind of appears fake. And so I think that when you have all those trees, it kind of looks a little bit more real. See, like, look at that tree. It just looks a lot more real than when you see those leaves on there, because the leaves still are not perfect. So anyway, here we go. Let's turn off Landy, and we are going to be cutting a hole through the shrubbery. Here we go, right between these trees. Good old brother. All right, and we have cut up this shrub, and we are good to go. That shrub is taken care of. Yeah, I'm not sure how best to simulate cutting through shrubs anyway, or cutting a hole in shrubs. I don't know how to do that. So now we have all 3 fields on this side of the field done. Let's go. You know what? Since we're here, we might as well go out this other way. And should we actually? You know what? No, it's fine to go this way. If we have to pick up everything, well, sure would be great to be able to take a shortcut through there. Trying to think about how to do this as efficient as possible, because there's a gate right there. Yeah, let's just head back there with Landy, because there is a gate right there. And is that a double gate? It's like, I'm wondering if we can fit a combine head through there. And if we can, would that be worth... No, that's just a short jaunt down the road. Maybe, you know, since it's just a private lane and nobody's around, we might be able to fit our combine header all the way down here and through this, you know, that's pretty narrow there. We might be able to do it though. Our header is not that huge. And on into here. That looks like a pretty field. Wait, is this all part of the same field? Could we have mowed that? Oh no, 20, that's field 28, okay. So we could not have mowed that, okay. Let's head on over to here. Okay, so now we need to figure out, let's try not to drive on our cover crop. We need to figure out where we are going to put the opening over here. That's going to be the tricky spot here. All right. Oh, wow. Look at that view. I don't think I've ever been up here before. Look at those. That actually looks like a natural little hill system over there. That's pretty neat. That's a great job. It is really hard to make hills look natural, but I tell you, those little humps there with the brush are really good. Okay, so we could make an opening here, and then there. That looks like a pretty thick shrub, though. I think it might be better to go down here and make an opening right there. Look at that. That's already low enough. We could almost drive over that without making a hole in the hedgerow. But I think if we cut a hole there, that would be better. And then cut a hole right here. And then we just need one more to get... Right? One more? No, because this is open at the bottom end. And then the rest of the fields are open across the top end. So actually, I think that this will be the last hedgerow that we have to cut. All right, let's get cracking. Here we go. Let's do this one. And simulating something. And simulating something. All right. All right, now that that is taken care of, let's head back to the farm. We have a little bit of figuring to do. Let's head out this way, and looks like my brother missed a little bit with the cover crops there. Here, let's switch back to my steering wheel. Much more smoother. And there we go. Let's head to the entrance, which is... Oh, driving through the hedge. Silly me. Okay. Actually, that looks like there's no hedge there. Let's just drive through. There we go. Okay, and on back to the farm. So, like I said, we're going to spend the rest of the episode figuring out how much seed to buy and then buying that seed. Oh, one thing I should say is Platinum Turbo asked, how many cattle do I intend to buy? And that is a great question. Oh yeah, that's right. That field's further back. I was trying to look to find my brother, but it's a little bit further off the road. We can't quite see. We can see him there at the edge of the field, but can't quite see him in the field. Anyway, the number of cows that we are going to buy, if you remember, cows are $5,000 a pop roughly, and if you buy them in the winter or in the late fall, they are $5,800 a pop, which was a huge mistake for me, but I won't do that again. So if we can get them for under $5,000 a head, then that is roughly 100 cows at $500,000. However, if people want me to buy a TW and a telehandler, I think telehandlers are around 100,000. Let's take a look. 100,000. I'm not sure how much the mod is on ModHub, but we'll probably select between these three and then the one on ModHub that's really good. And so that's 100,000. So that means roughly less than, let's say, $350,000 to spend on cows. So what is that? If it was math's hard. If it was $300,000 for cows, well, I don't know, just divide that by 5. Well, you know what? Let's look at the current price and let's just do some real math because $6,000. Oh, ouch. So that's right. It goes up a little bit in the winter, and then late winter it drops down. I forget what, but let's say $4,500, and if we spend $350,000 on cows, and like I said, let's assume we can get them for 4,500 a head. That is 77 more cows. We already have 18, so if we are wise about it, we'll get just under 100 head, and then I plan to expand this as much as possible, our dairy operation, because, you know, we're with our two balers and this size farm, it's not really practical, but we're gonna ramp up, and you know, we'll probably do some baling, some contract work for some other farmers with our balers, i.e. sell it off at the farm to pay for our balers. We're gonna do a big time, you know, baling operation. So you know what, we could probably, I mean, we probably have enough hay and straw to last us a long time. We could probably look at even selling some, but I don't like the idea of selling it off when we don't know how much we have. With our expanded farming arable operation, you know, we only harvested 2 fields in the fall. We'll probably want another Martian trailer, and we can run them, you know, connect them head to end. They have a nice little tow hitch there at the end. So we'll probably look to do that. So we can't spend all of our money on dairy, but it's going to be pretty close to, you know, it's going to be pretty close to everything we have left on dairy. I could actually spend some time stacking straw bales there, but honestly, aside from, you know, just the extra weight on the axles of the bale trailer, I don't see what's wrong with just leaving them on the bale trailer and taking them off whenever we need them for now. There's no sense taking time to stack them all at this moment. We can actually spend some time cleaning up the cows, so let's work on that actually. That's what we'll probably do, and then we will, well, that's what we will do, and then I will probably call this an episode. Okay, here we go. Let's open up this side door with a big bang, and should we just head on straight through? Let's see. No, we won't head on straight through. Let's get... Okay, so you know what? Maybe we do need to unload this draw because it's about time to get this trailer out of here, and I just closed the doors for nothing. Wait a minute. Do we even have a... Oh, we do have a manure fork. That's right. That's how we plan on getting that out of there. So actually... Okay. We're making up our mind. Here we go. So... let's take a look here at Heidi. Heidi is in which gear? V1. We can go up to 3. And, okay. We're going to look at getting that bale trailer out of there, and then the cleaning up those extra straw bales. And that, yeah. Then we can clean up the manure. And then we're going to go over there to the left and clean up the grass as well. We're going to have to push that back on in for the cows. Make sure that they are as efficient as possible, even though, you know, when we don't have silage, it doesn't hurt to just make them as good as possible. Okay, here we go. Oh, boy. We got to get down to a low gear. There we go. Yeah, so we can start in V1 even with this heavy of a load. But any bigger of a load and Heidi just could not really handle it. So for now, let's just, you know what? Let's see, what are we going to do? Let's... Oh boy, what are we going to do here? Let's, you know what? I don't know what to do. Okay, we're going to put... I think we are going to offload some of this straw. So, oh goodness. Okay, let's just hop inside Heidi. Here's what we're going to try to do. We're going to try to get out of this barnyard, and this is not working well. Okay, let's see. How can we make this turn? Okay, I think if we go backwards... You know, it really helps to see the clutch percentage there. I really am happy Modelicia suggested to just have it up there. Because right now it's like, I don't even know if I'm using the clutch or not. It kind of sounds like I would be riding the clutch a little bit. But without having that percentage up there, you really don't know. So that is the better way to operate a manual with gearbox. So I think if we crank this at a right angle, miss the... Yeah, we don't want to poke a hole in the gasoline trailer. if we make these at some kind of... There we go. So you'll understand my plan here in a little bit. Oh, boy. Gotta go back down to medium. Going uphill a little bit. And you know what? Maybe this could be part of the problem. I don't know how that happened. There we go. Okay, so what the plan is, we are going to park right about there, and so that way we can offload those easily onto into that shed back there. And we're going to close these gates because I don't think we... Oh, well, yeah, we do. The straw. There's straw... No, stop it. The straw bales back there that we need to get. And I think we can still... Can we still squeeze by there? Oh, goodness. Let's try to squeeze by there. I think we can do it. Okay, but for now, we can go back to V3. V3 seems like a nice medium gear when you don't have any weight. And let's head on back. You know, I have my brother Courseplay. You know, we're going to stop the roleplay for a minute. I have Courseplay turning... It's supposed to be turning on the field, but for some reason he always turns off the field. I don't know if that is a product of... It's just something, you know, plowing doesn't necessarily work the greatest. I don't know what that is, but that's what's going on there whenever you see him slipping. Looks like he actually solved the problem himself, so that's good. Alright, let's get in here and get some of this straw. You can see, you know, this is why I didn't want to have to put the straw in this shed, because it's just... It is not very easy to make this turn, even with little Heidi here. So let's just do what we can here. I think that it will be okay. Okay, there we go. Well, I don't want 2 stacks. I couldn't see that before. Oh, goodness. Okay, there we go. I think if we just keep it in V1, we're fine, as long as I only grab 1 stack there. Okay, yeah, see? V1's fine. Whoa, yeah, it would be fine if I remember my rear weight. Okay, well... Okay, so, new plan. There's no rain today, there's no rain tomorrow. I think that... This episode is probably dragging on unless I have widely missed my mark for time. So here's what we're going to do. We are going to end with dumping this here. And I'm going to run to the store to get another weight because we need another weight. We have to have a weight for field work, and then we also have to have a weight for Heidi. As long as Heidi is going to be moving anything around, we're going to have a weight for Heidi. So... I don't like this. Sometimes that's really hard to get back on there when you need some flat ground. So let's park it maybe up here. Maybe that'll help. Okay, flat ground. Oh, that's right. So if you ever face this problem again, you have to tilt it all the way back. And now you can unhook, and there we go. I was waiting for those to engage the ground, but with the claws up there in the front, yeah. Okay, let's run to the store to get a weight. Is there anything small I need while I am at the store getting a weight? You know what? I could save a trip if I take one of those trailers to the store with me and load it up with seed, but darn it. But I can't unload the trailer without a weight, and right now the weight is being used in the field. So I'm going to have to just waste a solid trip all the way to the store here. Yeah, and we'll probably end with me making this trip. So sorry about this, but I think this is the best option. I don't know what else to do. And like I said, I think this is probably the end of the episode anyway. So let's end with finding my brother over there. Seeing if we can't see him. I don't know. Doesn't look like it. Maybe when we get over on the other side of the field here. Okay. I do really... Look at that black smoke. How could people say they want to sell Heidi? Poor Heidi. Okay, drive on the road. I really hope we get to keep Heidi. I think that unless we're really pressed for cash, I think that it's probably the best option because then, you know, I mean, the point was as you get bigger, you know, at a certain point, there's something to be said for having a tractor that already has manure scoop or, you know, some tool or implement already on it. And then another tractor like the TW's making, well, for example, this kind of trip. And there's a lot to be said for efficiency in that regard. If you're a smaller farm, you can't really afford to do it because, you know, just use one tractor and that's much more better for your money, but I don't know. I don't know if we can afford to keep this and the TW, so we will have to decide that later. But anyway, for now, I think that I will leave you guys with me driving off into the afternoon sun and hitting a wall because I'm trying to get fancy with the camera. We're going to also have to turn on the hazards because Heidi does not have a light. But there we go. Okay, if I can get on the road, I think that'd be a good way to end. Okay, how about this? There we go. That's a good view to end. So until next time, I will see you guys later. Thanks for watching, and be sure to subscribe and give me a thumb up if you enjoyed. And yeah, I hope that you did enjoy. And we'll have the official results of the poll on Friday's episode because this episode... Are you guys impressed I'm staying on the road? Because this episode is filmed just a little bit too early and the results didn't have time to come out yet. So, well, that could have been suicide. That's a suicide curve. Okay, there we go. And I think that this will just about do it. So, until next time, guys, if we can make it up the hill. There we go. Until next time, guys, thanks for watching. I hope that you had a good day. And finally, really this time, goodbye as I drive on the road, not off the road. All right. Nope, there's off the road. Okay, I'm just going to stop this disaster and drive to the store the rest of the way off screen. Anyway, I'll see you guys later. We will finish figuring out the seed. We'll stack the straw bales, and brother will continue to plow. I think that he'll be able to do that the rest of today and tomorrow, but I'm not sure if we'll start tomorrow's episode actually on the next in-game day or if we'll just continue this day. I don't know about that yet. Anyway, you guys will just have to wait for that suspenseful decision until next time. And yeah, we've talked almost all the way to the store. This is getting a little bit ridiculous. Okay, goodbye for real this time, guys. Thanks for watching. If you're still watching this long, you're probably already exited out of the episode by now. But see you guys later.